Hi everyone, Marcel-Jan here, and in this video I want to explore my workout data with Superset. And the reason that started was that I've been gathering health data for a while on myself, workout data. I've got multiple years of data in an Excel sheet, as one does. Yeah, it's not exactly state of the art, but it works for one person, I guess. Yeah, I was thinking I really would like to get some insights from that data, and yeah, and I was thinking maybe I should try one of these new tools. And I read that Superset, all the cool kids are using Superset nowadays. Apache Superset's open source, and I was thinking, okay, let me see if I can use that. And the thing that came up in my mind was maybe I can run some kind of Dockerized environment of Superset, then I can run it on my laptop. And you can actually do that. There are good instructions on the Superset documentation site on that. It's not that hard. You need Docker, of course, so you need Docker Desktop. I'm using Docker Desktop on Windows. You can use Docker Desktop on a Mac, and I think there's some kind of Docker implementation for Linux on the desktop. And so beside that, you need Git, although possibly you could just download the whole thing here by following the URL, but with Git clone you can get the data on your local drive. You can go to the directory, and then there's a Docker compose file you can use, and you can run it, and it will be running for a while because it will provide you with all kinds of sample data that's going to be helpful if you want to explore Superset for the first time. So that's nice. Now, when that's all done, you will look, if you look at the Docker desktop, there's a link. You can go to the Superset app container. It will send you to localhost port 8088, and I'm already here on that. And then you can log in with admin, and then you're good to go. And so the next thing was, I was thinking was, okay, I have this Excel sheet. I can make a CSV file out of it. Can I upload it? And you can. And what it actually does, if you look carefully at the Superset Dockerized setup, there's a Postgres database in here that you can use. Even better, you can use Superset to upload the data to Postgres for you. With the upload a CSV option here. But before you do that, you need to know one thing. You need to enable CSV upload here. And for that, you need to go to the examples database that is created automatically here with that Dockerized setup. Edit, and you need to go to advanced security. And here is allow data upload. And with that, you are allowed to upload your CSV. So I did that. It's not that hard. I'm not going to do it entirely here because I have already the data in a Postgres database. But you can go to, you can get your CSV here, and then you can give it a name, workouts 3. You can choose a delimiter. Yeah, and I have a Dutch Excel, so we're doing everything the wrong way. So we have a delimiter semicolon, we have a decimal character, a comma instead of a point dot. So but you can all change that here and load the data anyway. Another thing is here, it's in first datetime format. Now this part is that did not entirely work right. I tried to get my date format in the CSV as close to as what I thought was really rather standard and not Dutch, but nevertheless it didn't do well, what happened, I can show you. So when you go to the data set, and here's my old one, my old workout data set. And when you look at the data set, it will say, actually, this is a text. And this is, and you can click on it to make it temporal, but you will lose out on a lot of functionality. And it's actually not that great if you keep the date column as a text. What will happen if I say, for example, I want to have a time grain and I will do some well, not by kilometer. Let me quickly group it by bike, fiets in Dutch, and take, for example, kilometer. And you have to aggregate this, so let's do this very quickly. Then this will work, but when you say when the time grains, if you want to do a little bit more like this is a simple table, but if I want to make, for example, a bar chart, let's do this, and I want to have a, or maybe, no wait, I know where I was going, sorry. A time series array chart or time series bar chart, and then I say, okay, I want to have a chart every week, and I run a query, and then I get this error, and it says it does not, the function date trunk does not exist, blah 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 blah. And what actually happens is something on the Postgres side is not working well, because it says I cannot work with this text field. So that was very annoying, because you're losing out on a lot of interesting functionality time-wise. So I had to solve that actually, and it was either choosing the perfect datetime format that will in my CSV that it would pick up right away. This is a datetime, but I didn't know exactly how to do that, or log in at the Postgres container. And you can do that with the user superset. You have to make sure the port is 5432. Oh, by the way, let me get one step back. So I'm here on my laptop. You can log in on the superset container with superset. It's called superset_db. This is how you log in on the container itself. Normally you wouldn't do that, but for a laptop attempt is fine. And I can log in with pSQL on the localhost port 5432 with the user superset, and it will bring you in. And I have to quickly have a peek at the commands I've been using. So, and here you can have a look at all the tables are in there, and there's my workouts and workouts table. And what you can do is you can alter the column. You can create a second column, make it a timestamp, copy the data from your textual date format into that new column, rename it, remove the old one, rename it, and then you're good to go. And I can show you, because that's what I've done in the dataset workouts 2. Here you see that it's not just a temporal data set, but it is actually recognized as datetime, and that is what you need. And now things get a lot more fun, I think. So let's have a little fun with this data. And because I want some insight in my workout data, I decided to create a dashboard. And let's call it my my workout data. My workout insights, that would be nice. So we're gonna save that. So it's completely empty, and I'm gonna create some charts for it. So what kind of charts shall I add? Well, on one side you can add charts that you already created, but actually I want to show you how to create them, so that would not be a great demonstration. So instead I will go to the charts, and I will create a new chart, and I will use my dataset workouts 2. And for the first data, I want to have an insight how many kilometers I've done on my bicycles, on my workouts, because I'm mainly cycling. I'm mainly on my bike, my racing bike. So I'm going to use a time series bar chart. You can see that there's a lot of possibilities here, a lot of stuff here, and I'm not even a dashboard aficionado, so I'm just going to try some simple stuff here. Create new chart. And what I'm going to do is I want to have for example, the kilometers per year or the workouts per year. So I can choose the time grain year here, and let's take the kilometers per year. Now you need to aggregate, even if you don't want to, but of course I'm now showing this per year, so aggregation would be necessary. So I choose some. And if I do this, I get very nice. This is right away. And this is what I didn't get when my date column wasn't was of the type text. Now immediately you get some information here. So you can see I've been riding my bicycle a lot more in the last few years. Some extra stuff I can do. I can show you, for example, this divided by type of bike. And then it does this. So it shows different columns for different bikes. I'm riding a Bianchi racing bike now, but I also have a Cannondale touring bike, which I just use for shopping. But apparently there's some data quality issues, because I also apparently chose some of the data was just of the type bike. So apparently didn't choose a correct some kind of typical bike. So maybe I've done something wrong. Also, in 2021, there's also a bike called schaatsen or skating. So basically, yeah, it's a workout column, but I used I called the column bike, but actually it isn't just biking. It's also also being skating, and I put it in there as well. Okay, so there are some data quality issues. Now, also one thing I was thinking is I would rather have this stacked and have different colors in the bar for different bikes. And we can go to customize, and I can use stacked series, and then boom, it looks like this. So this is very nice. And maybe I want to have some different colors here. Now we can have a look. This is pretty primary color like. This looks nice. And kilometers, workout kilometers per year, and bike is the, oh, did I miss the, yeah, I can actually create long titles, great. So now what I can do is I have this new dashboard. I can immediately save this to my dashboard, which is called My Workout Insights. Save and go to dashboard. Boom! First chart is there. Great. Now, there's some other stuff I want to try. For example, I want to see how many kilometers per bike per year I've done. And I'm going to create a time series area chart. And I have to choose my workout set again. Create a new chart. And okay, so, and I want to have this per week, I think. And the metrics, like I said, will be the amount of kilometers. And yes, of course, it's also all an attempt to brag about how much I'm riding, sure. And I want to group this by bike. Let's have a look. What will this look like? Already this looks interesting. You can see when I went from my old bike, which was a Jan Jansen Titanium. Jan Jansen is a Dutch brand. Named after the winner of the Tour de France in, I think, 1967. And then I went on to buy a new bike in July 2019, and then I was riding this one. But I also see this, and the interesting is every bike has its own graph. But I want to get rid of the fiets bike, the unknown bike, basically, and I can do that with a filter. Fiets, which is bike, and I want to say it's not equal fiets. I think this should do it. Run query, boom. So yeah, already I'm pretty happy with this. You can also not only see which bike I've used. You can also see, for example, here you have a gap where I didn't use my Bianchi because it was in repair for 2 weeks, and then I went on riding on my touring bike, my Cannondale, and then I got it back and was cycling again. You can also see there are some clearly some areas in summer where I'm riding a lot, and in winter I didn't used to ride a lot, but nowadays I have some winter-proof clothing, so I'm more riding in the winter as well. So I'm riding more. That's how I rack up more kilometers. So okay, so this looks really nice. So this is kilometers biked per week per bike, something like that. And again, I'm missing the E for some reason. This is not a superset problem, I think. Let's save that and put it in my dashboard. Bam, it's there. Now, dashboards always need some kind of big number, right? That's how managers, I think, like it. So let's create a big number in here as well. It's just got to be there. It's just mandatory. You need a big number in your dashboard. So let's have a big number here. We're going to use our data set. And let's make this a bit motivating for myself. I want to see how many calories I burned in total. So that is that's called verbrand kilocalorie Strava. So that's my data for Strava. It's an app, and I'm doing the sum and save and run. Voila. Yeah, so that looks interesting. Not telling me a lot. I can also choose the font size, and yeah, that's about it. It's fine. Kcal burned total. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna put it in my dashboard, and there we go. Now that's all fine and good. But what I actually was thinking about when I was looking at my Excel data was, did I get any faster on my bike in the last few years? So for this, I'm going to do a time series chart and go to the workouts there. Let's see. So we can do this per week, I guess. And the metric is, of course, how the speed. So yeah, this is all Dutch stuff. This snelheid is average speed, more or less. And let's create an average here as well. And let's see, I want to see the per bike. I want to see if my new bike got me any faster. And yeah, let's have a look. So there we go. And this is already, I like this graph. I like this graph because you can see per bike how fast on average I've been in a week. But you can also see it doesn't averages all the bikes out. It just shows that my Jan Jansen here got a peak at 32 kilometers per hour. And here I was very fast on my Bianchi, very motivated on my new bike, I guess, and also was just back from a holiday in the Alps, so I had a altitude training basically. That also helps. And so you can see there seems to be that sometimes it's a little bit higher, but it's still hard to tell if my new bike got me any faster. And what else can I see? Yeah, so, and you can also see that my tour bike, I really try to go very fast on it, but it is just a heavier bike, and you see the difference in speed here. It's just not a racing bike. A racing bike has thinner tires and has less friction, I think, and that is definitely a difference. So let me call this average speed per week and bike. So is there anything else I want to see here? I think I'm happy with this. Yeah, I'm gonna save this and put this in the dashboard as well. So that's is actually funny. It actually is giving me some insights here. You can see that the Jan Jansen is a little bit slower, it seems. Maybe I could do an average per bike overall. That would definitely show me something. But I was thinking of another graph I've just been trying out, and I can show you. At what temperature am I cycling? Something different. At what temperature am I riding my bike the most? That is also an interesting one. For this, I'm gonna create a simple bar chart. And of course, don't forget the data set to select that one. And yeah, so now the strange thing about this is I have to have a column, date column. So okay, I guess. And I want to have a metric, but the temperature would not be a good thing. What I'm going for is for the number of workouts. And I'm gonna do this for temperature, which data I got from Strava, by the way. And let's have a look what that looks like. So yeah, so there we go. So we have temperatures and we have number of workouts. Oh, but we got a lot of null, because for a lot of workouts I didn't have that Strava data yet. That came in later versions. So I want to remove that. So for that I'm gonna say temperature. Well, I don't want it to be at 0. No, I don't want to be null, so I'm gonna choose is not null. And also, yeah, this temperature thing, it would be nice if it would be sorted on temperature, because it's looking really weird. So, okay, I have to do a simple one here. Temperature, there we go. Yeah, I have to. Do I have to aggregate this? That would be strange. I actually don't want to aggregate this. Is that possible to do? No, I have to aggregate it. Okay. Okay, let's do that then. And there we go. Now, this is going from high temperatures to low. That is weird. So let's do descending. Okay, that is looking already a lot better. Might be losing some temperatures in between. No, that's all going up pretty nicely. Not okay. Of course, it's not an XI scatter plot like this, but okay, it's looking pretty nice so far. But I have some temperatures at minus Celsius, so below 0, and I'm pretty sure I don't ride my bike at below 0. But I think this has to do with the skating. If I do skating and I'm gonna stack this graph, stack it there. Okay, and now we have some other stuff, because now we're going back to completely not, this is completely unsorted again. But you can see here that the red one is skating, schaatsen. So I want to remove the skating, and I also want to remove spinning, because spinning is a workout inside, so that doesn't make sense. So let me filter that. So feeds not equals schaatsen. And actually I would like more values, that would be nice, but I think that's only with the not in version. But I didn't have a lot of success with that, so let's not do that right now. And not equals spinning, because that doesn't make a lot of sense, because I'm cycling inside with that. Okay, but still, okay, this is nice, but the sorting doesn't work. So I'm going back to not being this not being a stacked bar, and not gonna do a breakdown anymore. So now I'm more or less up to the graph that I want. It's not entirely correct. Like I said, it's not a nice XY scatter plot, because you go from point 1 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, so that's not how you normally would do it, but it is at least ascending, so that is something that's good enough for now. So temperatures during workouts versus number of workouts. There we go. And we're going to save this and put it in the dashboard as well. So yeah, so I had some problems in the beginning with Superset, but basically it was not a Superset problem, but more like a Superset versus Postgres problem with the or maybe CSV not understanding, Postgres not understanding, or Superset not understanding the date column that I was presenting. But when I solved that, things got a lot more fun and really gave me some insights in my actual workout data. So that is really cool. I'm getting much more now than I expected, and much more than I would get normally with Excel, where I had to probably would have done group bys in all kinds of weird ways and mess up my Excel sheet. So this is very nice. Maybe in the future I can create something that does this, gets my CSV data from my Excel automatically and then goes to Superset somehow. That would be even cooler. Then I would always have up-to-date graphs. That would be very nice. But yeah, that's an interesting thing to think about for the future for my for my workout data. So I'm actually getting a little bit data driven here, I guess. I know when I'm cycling at what temperatures, and I know my new bike is more or less faster. So pretty cool. I hope you liked it, and if you have any questions, send me some in the comments, and see you next time.